village. To sit in front of you and first start with a collective meditation. I request all of you sit. Please keep your mobile phones on silent mode. Today, after this collective meditation, we will discuss on spirituality. Let's start our meditation. Just follow my words. It will be a guided meditation. So I humbly request, just follow what is being said so that the optimum result of the meditation you can experience. Kindly, gently close your eyes. You can put your hands on your thighs or in between your legs. Sit in a comfortable posture, whatever is suitable for you, so that during these few minutes, you don't need to be changed in your position. If the body is not stable, concentration will not be stable as well. Back straight. Now try to focus your awareness, gather your awareness around the center of your heart, in the middle point of your chest. Try to make it a constant point of concentration. Your thoughts, emotions, feelings can take you away from your dharana, but try to be at the center of your heart. Don't allow your thoughts, do not allow your feelings to distract you. Put a will force behind this concentration in the center of your chest. Whatever sounds you can hear around you, don't focus on that. Even if it goes for a moment, your awareness, your focus distracts, bring it back to the center of your heart. Try to be there. After some time, after a few minutes, you will feel that more and more you are able to gather your awareness at the center. In the beginning of this practice, most probably the awareness will go away, but with steady and persistent efforts, slowly, you will be dwelling in the center of your heart. Just be there for some time. Try to hold your thoughts. Try to not to follow your thoughts. Even if the strings of thoughts are very strong, even if the memories in your mind is very visible in yourselves of any kind, even then try to bring your consciousness, try to concentrate your awareness at the heart center. When I say at the heart center, it is not the physical heart on your left side. It is in between the breast, the center point where the focal point is there. From here now, take deep breath, slowly, gently. Breathe out. Again, breathe in slowly, gently, and feel your breath. Feel the string of your breath, a subtle string on which this life is dependent. This subtle breath is the center of life, prana shakti. Now slowly again take deep breath. And while exhaling, this time try to feel the breath at your nostrils. When you take the breath, try to feel the subtleness of the prana. And when you breathe out, feel it as the prana is moving in your body, giving you the base of life. Now you can see that mind is more still. Even if Still, the thoughts are more stronger in you. We don't need to be distracted. Now we will take deep breath, and with deep breath together harmoniously chant Om. Take deep breath, follow me. Om. Once more. Om. Normal breathing, but feel the vibrations generated by the chanting of Om, the vibration of stillness, poise. Now we will take again a deep breath, but this time while breathing out, we will chant Om silently in our mind while breathing out. Take deep breath while breathing out. Chant Om in yourself without making sound. One more time. Now again, bring your consciousness, gather your awareness at the center of your heart. Feel your physical consciousness in whole, spread out in your body. The energy is flowing in a rhythmic way in the body. Slowly bring your palms together and rub your palms. Put on your eyes slowly, gently, and open your eyes in the darkness created in your palm. सबको साधन So, at the end of the session, I would like to take some questions regarding this meditation. And without any hesitation, please share your experience or whatever state of mind was there at that time, so that it will be easier to guide more accurately and precisely in the meditation next time. So today we will discuss first about spirituality. What is spirituality? But before that question, what is spirituality? We will try to find out why spirituality is necessary in our life. Because when we will know the significance and importance of anything, only then we can follow and pursue that goal in our life. So let's observe practically whole day of our routine life, daily routine. What do we pursue in our whole day? Means from the time we wake up and till the time we go to sleep to our bed. What is the preoccupation of our life? Anybody can answer.
Working.
Working.
Materialistic life.
Sorry?
Materialistic life.
Realistic. Materialistic life, yes. Means to fulfill all the material needs of our life. Anybody else wants to say something?
Cell phone.
Cell phones, yes. Cell phone is very practical necessity of life. Sorry? So, food, yeah, food is the one we are doing meditation after filling our stomach. So, food is, of course, our primary need. So, this is our practical observation that from morning till the night, we are preoccupied with food, with our working, with all the material needs and pleasures. Because what apart is just put apart the material need of food, the 70% part of the food is taste. If food is tasty, then we are more engaged in food than if it is not. So basically, we are engaging ourselves in the sensual pleasure. This is the very basic observation which everybody knows. And if we make a kind of picture out of it, what do we see? That our whole day is, moving between two poles. One pole is happiness and the another pole is sadness or pain. If our life is moving towards the happiness, whether material, we are getting it materially or emotionally or through any object or person, it does not matter. It is that we are inclined towards that pole like a magnet. But in case something happens in a day that we are in pain, then our life gets disturbed. Our mind gets disturbed. Why? Because our basic nature is demanding all the time that pleasure and happiness, which unfortunately we are not able to attain at each moment. Yes or no? This is our practical observation. We cannot deny, somebody cannot say, oh, I don't want pleasure, I don't want to be happy all the time. All the time, even in sleep, when we are in dreams, if some unpleasant dream is there, we feel unhappiness. And in the morning, we say, what a bad dream we had last night, and I don't want to see it again. So this, if we observe our life, this thing is constantly penetrating our life with happiness and sadness. In Rigveda Bhashya Bhumika, Maharshi Dayanand ji in Upasana Prakaranam, he is giving one reference and he is telling the people who are only pursuing the material life, they are always wallowing in the suffering and in the material pleasures. Always, most of the time. There are very few little moments, not in a day, maybe in months, that there is some deeper emotions and feelings are coming out of themselves. And the people who are pursuing a spiritual life, he is giving his writing that those people, they are completely free, liberated from the suffering, psychological. First, I'm talking about psychological suffering. Because psychological suffering is tormenting us more than physical suffering. Here, we have everything. In India, people are even struggling to survive, but here, people's life is more comfortable than other countries. Even though the psychological suffering we can see is more than anywhere else. Why? Because there is a quote in Gita, Ashantasya kutah sukham. If there is no peace, there cannot be happiness. So, the whole purpose of making this statement, starting this discussion is there are two logics. Why should we pursue a spiritual life? Number one, we want a constant state of happiness. Yes or no? Yes, please interact so that it is more easier to follow up what is going on. So the first thing is we want a constant state of happiness. The second thing, our life, who, what is the guide of our life? What is the base of our life? What is the support of our life? The support of our life, most in majority in general, is the material exposure, is the support of our life. Whatever comforts, whatever means we have to sustain and survive, that is our base, that is our support. Can we say that the support of our life is the spiritual existence? Is the, I will use the word, is the spiritual consciousness? Is that spiritual consciousness supporting us whenever we are in difficulty? Most of the time, we are being supported by a particular framework of our ideas that is protecting us, which is making us shielded from the outer attacks. For example, somebody has said something bad to someone. What will be the support? What will be the psychological support? Maybe the someone to whom someone is uttering bad words will be vulnerable and will feel so much psychological suffering. Or on the other side, there will be fight, verbal fight. He will react. So the point is, in both cases, the psychological suffering is increasing, isn't it? And suppose if someone is completely away and completely liberated in one's nature, is not identified with the mind and life and body, what will happen? If somebody has said something bad to someone, the reaction will not come from that ego, from that mental ego, from that vital ego, from anywhere from the nature. It will act, not react. So the here point is, how do we find out our true being? This is the second logic. We need to pursue our spiritual goal, our spirituality. First, constant happiness. Second, the true who we are. If we don't know our identity, we will be lost. We are lost in this world otherwise. We can become a doctor, we can become a scientist, we can become a politician, whatever we want to become in the outer world. But have we realized that inner truth, that who we are? So for that exploration, for that inner discovery, we need to pursue our spiritual reality. So what is that spiritual reality? Everyone knows who is sitting here. What is spirituality? Spirituality means आत्मा और परमात्मा की खोज, the discovery of our own self, our true self, and the supreme self, who is the controller, creator of this whole universe. From that point, that our journey, spiritual journey, our spiritual traveling start from that point when we realize, okay, I'm not satisfied with this material life only. I also need to pursue my true being. Who am I in reality? And also, I want to be completely, thoroughly, constantly, eternally be happy. And these all means which are around us cannot make me all the time happy. So when this we have attained this idea in ourselves, from that point our journey starts, not before. So that when we have decided that I will find out in experience, in realization, who am I? From that point, we can say that now we will make progress. For example, somebody wants to become a great engineer. First of all, he needs to know what is engineering, why he wants to become an engineer. If somebody wants to do programming, he will go in computer science branch. If somebody wants to do something else in ships, he will go marine engineering. So in the same way, if we want to find out who we are in reality, then our spiritual journey starts. So the second thing, of course, very practical question. If I have decided, I have realized I'm not satisfied with this material life only, I have to find out my spiritual self, my true self, and then the supreme self, who is the Paramatma, and I want to realize Atma, who really I am. then what is the difficulty? Why, if we are Atma, why we are not experiencing it all the time that we are Atma? That is very practical question Sai asked on that day. Why not? We say मैं आत्मा हूं, तो हम आत्मा का अनुभव हर समय क्यों नहीं कर रहे? What is the characteristic of आत्मा? आत्मा शुद्ध बुद्ध मुक्त है. आत्मा is forever pure and forever liberated. But why we are feeling the pain and suffering and bondage in the life? Then we have to go to the Shastras, to the Rishis. Like when somebody wants to do a research in physics, he has to read all the scientific exploration which have been done before. He has to read Einstein, he has to read Schrodinger, he has to read all the scientists who have done research in that field. So if we want to explore the spiritual realm, spiritual zone, spiritual world, spirituality in our life, we need to read the records of yoga. And those records of yoga, those records of spirituality we found in the scriptures. What does scripture say then? Gita is saying, Veet Raga Bhaya Krodha Sthir Dheer Muniruchyate. The one whose intelligence, whose mind is stable, who is patient, that one is free from fear and all kinds of attachments. Now, this answer of this question, that why we are not able to progress spiritually as much as we want, then we take the help of Yoga Darshan. In Yoga Darshan, there is one sutra in which it is said there are 5 types of obstacles or kleshas which we need to get rid of in order to realize in yoga. And what is that? Now, Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, that are results. हाँ, अविद्या जी बिल्कुल. सो स्वाध्याय है बहुत सुंदर. अविद्या, अस्मिता, राग, द्वेष और अभिनिवेश. Now what is avidya? Anybody? Ignorance. Of course, ignorance, avidya, but we want to go more deeper. That's partially correct, but we need to. So in Shastriya Bhasha, avidya is which can be defined by 4 ways. The first, to understand which is not eternal, take them as eternal. नित्य को अनित्य मानना और अनित्य को नित्य मानना, वो अविद्या का पहला लक्षण है, करेक्टरिस्टिक है. तो most of the time we consider we are immortal. This body is immortal. Okay, in theory we accept that it will perish, but in ourselves the feeling is We are not going to die. Of course, Atma will not die. It is imperishable. But the question is, at the time when we are uttering this statement, are we realizing at that time, identifying ourselves as Atma or as the body? As the body, most of the time. So how can we say this is Nitya? All the second characteristic is अशुचि को शुचि मान. जो शुद्ध नहीं है उसको शुद्ध मानना, और जो शुद्ध और जो अशुद्ध है उसको शुद्ध, और शुद्ध को अशुद्ध मानना. उदाहरण, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वेरी सिंपल, we think this nature is very pure, but it is not in reality. दोष हैं, flaws हैं, that is why there is suffering. तभी हमारा, when we don't have the clear knowledge, clarity, then what happens? Our belief system shakes whenever some difficulty comes in life. सबसे पहले the first indispensable need of our spiritual journey is, do we have faith? That utmost unshakable faith in the existence of God, in the existence of Ishwar and our Atma. In some religion, there is no concept of Atma. There is no concept of rebirth. Then, if Rishis say, अंगुष्ठ मात्र पुरुषो अंतरात्मा हृदय क्या है? सदा जनानाम हृदये सन्निविष्ट. So if rishis, if in the Vedas, and because Vedas are not born out of any man in this world, अपौरुषेय हैं वे, enlightened in the mind of human being, but is not written by human being. अजो नित्य शाश्वतो अयम पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. So when we are uttering this shlok, are we feeling that I am immortal and imperishable? If not, then we must start immediately our inner discovery of self. If we will delay, we will be more and more entangled in this web of avidya. तो तीसरा लक्षण क्या है? नित्य को अनित्य, अशुचि को शुचि, अनात्मा को आत्मा मानना. We consider this body as living thing, कि ये चेतन है. ये क्या है? अविद्या. This is ignorance. If we are considering around us all the material objects as living things, we are in avidya. तो ये हुआ तीसरा करेक्टरिस्टिक. और ये हमें लगातार कंटिन्यूअसली विद कांस्टेंट कंटिन्यूअस कंटेम्पलेशन एंड continuous concentration, we have to fix this in ourselves, in our mind, because na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sato. कि जो है, जो इसका अस्तित्व है, वो उसका कभी अभाव नहीं हो सकता. अगर आत्मा है तो कोई कितना भी हमारे सामने आके कहता रहे, whoever it is, the greatest scholar of this world, intelligent man, that there is no Atma, you will not believe it because it is not true. Faith can only be possible in what it is truly. Otherwise, faith will fail after some time if it is not true. तो और चौथी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है? बहुत सुख को दुख और दुख को सुख मानने। फॉर एग्जाम्पल समझना तो पड़ेगा, वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ इट इज हैपनिंग विद अस। All the time we are thinking there is a lot of pleasure in this world. It is indeed, no doubt, but not constant, not eternal, not forever. You have to continuously depend on it. Continuously you have to make connection with it. And it is same every time. There is no higher degree of experiences of intensity. If you eat, we just ate rasmalai. If you will tomorrow will eat rasmalai, the taste will be the. You will not say, "Oh, yesterday it was more tasty. Today it is less." Unless you have cold, you cannot feel taste. So in this world, in this material world, all the pleasures are not constant, are not eternal. That is why they are perishable, they are mutable. Our experiences are also instant, temporary, cannot sustain and survive for long period of time. But in our mind, avidya is there. Mind thinks. We think in the mind. This taste, this touch, this smell, this house, this money will forever be there. If we have made this fixed in our mind, suffering will come. Ashanti will come. And all negativity which it brings with them, it will come. But if very easily we question God, we question Ishwar, but we don't question this nature. Why? If some mishappening has happened, I was in Nairobi, I remember one incident, something happened in one's family and that man came to me and he said, "I don't believe now in God." I said, "Why?" "Because God has snatched me from my dear one." I said, "What happened?" "That person was sick." I said, "What? God has to do something with that sickness, tell me." So very easily our faith belief system starts demolishing. Why? Because it has not been properly founded in the roots. When foundation is not strong, the houses we are making on it will be demolished very easily. This is avidya. And till we have that avidya, that ignorance, that false perception in our mind towards everything, what will happen? We will be in constant influx, in change. And nothing, no stability can come in our life. Materially it can, but we will frustrate after some time when it will not give peace and inner happiness. This is avidya. Now what is asmita? Can anybody try? Savita ji is Vishwaji. Asmita is identification with nature. To consider ourselves as body, That is, of course, the root is avidya, but that is asmita. There is a short story. I love that story. Why? Because it defines what is asmita. Once there was a king, very great. He came to a yogi with full of proud, and he brought one golden ornament, very beautiful, jeweled with different gems. So he came and he offered that ornament to the yogi. Yogi just said, drop it. He was perplexed. He said, why? He's telling, drop it. It's so beautiful, so precious. And I brought it especially, made it for him. And why is denying and he's telling, drop it? Anyway, he had to drop because it was ordered from the Guru. Then he thought, okay, I have one alternative. He also brought one flower, rose. He said, this flower is from nature and is giving more important message of that in the morning it is blossoming and in the evening, in the night it is gone. It is dead. So it is showing the message of the life, that all life is in flux, in change, mutating. So offered. He offered and he said, drop it. Again, he is more confused now. Why? He is again and again telling me, drop it. Then he thought, okay, now I have to offer myself. Maybe then he will think that, okay, this is correct offering. So again, when he started bowing down, he said, drop it. Then his disciples started laughing, smiling. Then he thought, what am I offering? I'm everything offering with ego. And that is what he wants me to drop. Ego, avidya, asmita. So, because he came there as a king, that is asmita. I am a king. I am this. I am that. I am great. I am poor. I am intelligent. So all this is asmita. So till asmita is there, identification is there with any idea, perception, or judgment, or this material body, senses, we will always be in flux. We will see, oh, if something is happening, it is happening in me. Somebody has passed a judgment on me, we start doubting on us. Oh, are we like that? So the point is, this is all ignorance. राग सबको पता है, attachment with the pleasures. And how does it happen? We have experienced something, then memory is there. The time memory come in front in the mind, we are inclined again to get that experience. That is, the cycle is going on and on and on. That is why we say habit. How we form a habit? How do we form that? With a constant repetition of the same experience, and that repetition is happening because of our sanskar, our impressions in the mind, in the memory in the mind. So that cycle we have to break. And for that cycle, we have to get rid of asmita, identification with the nature, body. Prior to that, we have to first work on the avidya. Then the cycle will change. Then dvesh, recoil, repulsion from what we have experienced before was not pleasant to us. And the result of that dvesh is anger. On that day, he told me that you use those words. Remember, in suffering, in pain, then anger came. I will not meet that man. Reaction. And then Abhinivesh, the most acute pain and suffering in ourselves, that is fear of death. Because ultimately, when we face death, we are shaken. Why? Because we have not identified our true self. So, therefore, in order to get liberation, in order to find eternal joy, happiness, and most importantly, to find our true self, existence, our identity, we need to pursue spirituality. And the time we start, and now the question is how? Okay, we have understood these are the problems, veils, these are the walls between me and the spirit, our Atma and Paramatma. What is the starting point? Starting point is very simple but very difficult. Should I tell you the key? The key is constant, persistent aspiration. Simple word, very simple word. But to follow that, to pursue that aspiration, that is strong will in us, to generate that will in us is a challenge. Okay, today we take this resolution. I will realize my soul. I will realize the Atma. The time you will stand up and go to your house, the things will start diluting. Why? We have habits. We have our own self-made fields of comfort zones in our mind, in our life, which are not easy to break. If I say, okay, from tomorrow, we all have to come here and sit half an hour meditation every day till I am here, it will be difficult. But what I suggest, in your comfort zone, you start practicing. Then the small changes will come, spiritual changes will come. But whatever fragile is our willpower, we should be conscious of it. If it is conscious, the key is conscious willpower, conscious will. If it is conscious will, the change will surely to follow. And the second thing, perseverance. Okay, today I could not sit in meditation for 10 minutes. I will sit before sleeping at least 2 minutes. And sitting means, first of all, we have to make this habit of sitting in meditation. All other things we will learn slowly, but first this habit needs to be prevailed in our life. So slowly, the spiritual change, the change will come when we will more and more get connected to our spirit, our Atma and the Supreme Paramatma. And tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Thursday, we will do more longer meditation. We will discuss now more about the practical tools and means of how can we make our meditation more effective and fruitful. That will be the topic of Thursday. So सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जो इस समय यहाँ पर आए. बहुत प्रसन्नता है आप सभी को यहाँ देखकर. कोई भी प्रश्न हो 5 मिनट प्रश्न के अभी हमारे पास है. धन्यवाद. ओम शांति. Any question?
You said Shuddha ko Ashuddha, right? We think nature is very pure, but we are flawed in the nature. So
या शुद्ध को अशुद्ध मानना, जैसे हम अपने शरीर को बहुत शुद्ध मानते हैं, बहुत शुद्ध हैं, बल्कि ये it is very impure. If you not purify it every day, the even the nature look, if you not clean your house, practically it will become very dirty. So in fact, in the decay in the nature is its characteristic, but we feel that oh, it is very pure. So we have to do a yatharth darshan, a correct perception we have to make, so that it does not deviate us from our spiritual pursuit. Any other? जी.
ये अभिनिवेश हमारा डेथ के बारे में, अगर हमारा पेरेंट्स के फियर ऑफ डेथ, तो उसको कैसे ओवरकम करना है?
इसका डेथ.
For our thinking, like our parents,
Okay.
who are aged and
So fear regarding their death.
yes,
The same. The fear of death is same whether ourselves or around us, because basically the principle is whatever is born will die. So whatever will take birth has to die. So this body is born, so the consequence in the end, the ultimate consequence, that it will decay, it will dismantle. So this is a principle, universal principle, that we have to understand. And that's why when Arjun is standing in the battlefield and he has to fight with his own relatives, look, just think about it. How did he feel at that time, that since childhood he was playing with, now he has to fight and kill them? The same thing, then Sankhya Yoga was given to him by Shri Krishna, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, that this is the reality. This is Atma, this will die. So that we have to observe, contemplate, and then we have to make deep understanding of it in ourselves, so that we don't feel that emptiness in ourselves. When we feel that emptiness, oh, death is the culmination of this life. No, death is not the culmination of this life. Spiritual realization is the culmination of this life. So then, when even slowly we will move, one day we will start experiencing the existence of soul. Then we will feel na jayate mriyate va kadachit one day. But now we have to start, so that conceptually first, from the help of scriptures and satsang, then it will strengthen that idea of immortality in us. Basically, we have to strengthen that idea in us of immortality, but not of nature, not of body, of the soul.
Acharya, you mentioned God controls, and God is the controller. But we look at the things happening in this world, it appears that nobody is controlling them, things are happening on their own. Accidents or whatever. terror.
Yeah, that's why I said it is very easier to shake our faith in God. If we don't have that absolute faith in Ishwar, anybody can come and say the same thing. Oh, look around, the pain, the suffering, the violence, and all this nonsense is going on in this world. He is the controller. Why does he not come and just take a sword and remove all these the violent elements in this world? The principle is God, Ishwar, has made this creation, and all the Jivatma on this earth, in this universe, are free to act. They are left free to act. Even if tomorrow there is Parle out because of nuclear weapons, we cannot blame Ishwar, because for Ishwar, creation, he will create the earth, then one day, this is also the fact, what is the materially is being created, one day it will perish. That is also the same thing is with our body, na? That okay, it was created, one day it will perish. The same thing with the earth. That if suppose in one's family there are some violent elements, some members are violent, we cannot blame God or Ishwar for that. It is the personal choice of the individual who is making them like that way. So faith in Ishwar, in fact, the true faith, not the blind faith, the true faith, the true Swaroop, real nature of Ishwar, we need to know first. Only then we can do true Upasana, real prayer. This is all because of misconceptions about Ishwar. Misconceptions about Shastras. That all these doubts come out of ourselves. That why Ishwar has created this earth and given to us as a gift. Use it. Use it whether for your prosperity, your peace, for happiness, or use it for your suffering. It is up to us. It is like today we give to our children a car and we say it is yours. Now do it whatever you want to do with this. It is their choice how to ride. It is their choice how to use. Of course, there are accidents in the life. You are going on the road, somebody came from behind and you are at the gunpoint. That is a different thing, accident. But we cannot blame for everything on Ishwar. Ishwar is the source of.
No, my question is, what is he controlling?
He is controlling the creation. If he does not control the creation, there cannot be any creation. If he is not controlling the universe, there cannot be an earth. There cannot be life. There cannot be, we cannot survive. If he is not doing this constant yajna, there cannot be grain. Did human being created the grain? Did they invent the grain? Did they invent the fruits? It came out of nature. It is part of this creation. So when we think like that, we will not specify God, Ishwar in that way. That okay, we should think today today I am healthy. It is because of grace of Ishwar. The gratitude should be built like this. Oh, today I am breathing. I am grateful to Ishwar. Today I have food. I saw Kenya. For one time of food, how people suffer. Only for one time. How do they fight? So whatever we have, the prosperity, the means, we should be grateful. That is the way to increase, to intensify, to build our devotion, faith towards God, towards Ishvara. Because that is the source of all happiness, peace. Whatever we have, if there is no peace, nothing is worth having. Peace is that characteristic. So, if anybody has any question, otherwise we end this session with Om and 3 times Shanti. Om. Shanti. Shanti. Shanti.